Hello boys and girls, this is Voodoo Magic showing you yet another game of MRJobe, this time against Wesley So. Wesley So was quite disturbed by the last game that was perpetrated on him by MRJobe. So in this particular one, Wesley So is coming back for a revenge, you basically say a grudge match. Now, MRJobe starts off with the white pieces, and he plays H to H7. This is met by him retaking it, and MRJobe retakes the piece right there. It's just one of the pieces that he retakes. MRJobe is going for blood here. As you see, he will move the F pawn or F pawn, F bit rook up to take the knight, because he doesn't like just these pieces popping out, because he wants to be able to control the board. At this point, MRJobe decides to pin the bishop against the king, and he takes the bishop. Now that was in one of the I don't know, particular rules, or not rules, but the challenges of the game. It was very debatable whether or not he should have moved to the F8 square. Because he could have moved down here and came out fairly good, but the problem is here is you'll see in a second that MRJobe moves to H8, causing him to have to move out of the way, and he ends up taking the queen. That would not have happened if he would have moved down to this spot, but maybe he knows more than we do. He is Magnus Carlsen, after all, and so. Anyway, MRJobe comes in with another attack. He wants to attack this rook, and the rook, will respond, and he retakes, just like he did on the other side. Now, at this point, Wesley So got quite upset. He just felt something was messed up in this game. He couldn't point his finger on it. He just didn't know what exactly it was, but there was something wrong with the game. And they reviewed the game. There was no illegal moves, nothing of that effect. They checked MRJobe to see if he had any kind of engine help, to see if he had any implants, to see if if he was cheating or not. It was all a perfectly up and aboard game. So MRJobe waited for Wesley So to come down to make his next move, and he made his knight move just like he did on the other side, attacking the rook. Now this particular time, MRJobe comes up, and rather than taking the knight, he just moves up to pin the bishop against the king. Then he comes in and takes the bishop. Now, as you can see, Marshall has a slight advantage. It's a tactical game, as many games are, especially when he comes up and he takes the knight. Now, it's very important that Wesley to come down to take retake the rook, because too many rooks on the board can cause great problems, as you might know. So let's see what happens next. What happens next is MRJobe attacks the pawn, pins the pawn against the king, and he can easily come in next, which he does, and takes the pawn and causes the king, as it is, to move into one of these two spaces. Now he chooses that particular space, but I don't know if that was necessarily the best choice, because MRJobe just came up with a H3 move to put the king in check. Now, in order to block the check, you'll see that Wesley So moves the pawn up. But this is an interesting move, because of it's hard to put it into words. It's not necessarily the brightest move in the world, because of the next move that MRJobe played, which was basically to take the pawn, protected by the rook, and he comes right back into the same situation he was in before. And there's so much in this game that just, I don't know, it just makes you tingle inside at the prowess of MRJobe. Now at this particular point, he decides to take the pawn, move him and check once again. He only has one space left, and as you will be able to see in one move, game over. Wesley So gets pounded by MRJobe. Wesley So, after this game, he got up and he stomped around and stormed around and says, "Didn't y'all see? Didn't y'all see what was going on? You know, it was all messed up," he said. "You know, there's something majorly wrong about the whole game." Well, that's just, you know, poor sportsmanship, most likely, I would think. But you know, what's done is done. What's over is over. He should have said something earlier in the match, you know, before the match started. So I want you to take this match and learn something from it. Learn what to do, what not to do. The players have starting to sense that they don't have much of a chance against MRJobe. And I would definitely suggest to MRJobe that he should probably lighten up on these grandmasters, because he's the first what we call super grandmaster ever in the history of chess. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to be making more. Please click subscribe and like and choose the bell and ring the bell and ding the bell and do whatever you need to do with bells. Anyway, I'm glad you joined the video. Make sure you hit like, and you have a good day, good evening, ta-ta for now, and all of that. And I hope to see you very, very soon. Until then, bye-bye.